The movement must continue. See, we let it go to sleep. This movement's got to be woke up again.
Good afternoon, Plug family. It has been a while. I have been on vacation. I have missed you guys. I really, really have. There has been a lot that has been going on in the city that we are just want to make sure that we're out here doing what we need to do to come together. And so today I have Miss Joanne Orr with the Sickle Cell Association. And first I want to say, because I know you're a busy woman.
Yes, I am,
And thank you so much for being here today. I know we have a lot to say.
Yes.
A lot that's going on, a lot that we need to bring awareness to everyone. And first off, tell the Plug family exactly who you are, where you came from, why you're doing this, and how long the organization's been
Ooh,
so
2-3 long stories.
Okay.
My name is Joanne Orr, Joanne Miller Orr. I always tell people who look at me and say, I know you. Hazel Miller is my sister. Look what we can do. Louisville, Louisville. So I always get the plug in. I grew up in Southwick.
Yeah.
I am 25 years retired United States Army. Sickle cell for me is a passion because I lost my son to sickle cell. I went in the Army because of sickle cell in 1975 when I was told that if I expected him to live past 10 years, age of 10, that I had to leave Louisville because it wasn't treated here. 20 years later when I come back, or 25 years later when I retired in 2000, I found out they're still not treated here for adults. 19 and over, since 1983, when they closed General Hospital, had no care. They weren't, nothing in the state of Kentucky, no designated care for sickle cell in the state of Kentucky. For most of the care, they were having to go as far as 183 miles, Vanderbilt University, up until about 2005 when Cincinnati Sickle Cell Clinic started picking them up. But that's crazy. I don't know how many of them died here. My son died here as a senior at University of Louisville in 1989. By that time, I'd been in the military a while and didn't feel like coming out and starting over, so I just stayed a little while longer. But sickle cell for me is all my children, and we have over 200 or so that are living with the disease. And unfortunately, I can't even honestly tell you how many adults we have. The clinic for sickle cell just opened in 2017. So it took us 34 years to get care for everybody with sickle cell. But a lot of them are still coming in. They're just finding out that we're here. If you know somebody with sickle cell, you know somebody suffering for sickle cell, if you have family and friends that like to come home but they know they don't have care in Louisville, okay, we're not on that list anymore. We good. We have everything.
So for those who don't understand what sickle cell is, it is a genetic blood disorder.
Correct.
That affects African Americans.
Mainly in this world, in this part of the world, predominantly African Americans. Because sickle cell, like everything else in slavery, came over in the ship in the hull 400 years ago. Sickle cell is the oldest genetic disease known to man. It kind of makes you wonder why something hadn't been done about it for now, but we look at who it affects and
well, I'm sure we
try not to go there. We try not to go there. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Sickle cell is a very, very, very painful disease. Up until, and I'm going to say in the last few years, we still carried a 17-year lifespan. A lot of our children they would get to the stage on senior, but a lot of them never got the opportunity to flip the tassel because they didn't live that long. It stunts the growth. The only treatment up until now has been blood transfusion after blood transfusion. When my son passed at 21, he was getting a blood transfusion every 22 days.
Sorry.
You can't live like that because your whole system is on time to shut down. And not to say nothing but blowing out your veins and arteries. They're on medication. I mean, they live in pain 24/7. It's just a matter of the degree of pain. Simple things hurt sickle cells. Coming in from 90 degrees outdoors, which we've had a lot of this summer, to a 70-degree room. I make sure they carry sweaters and jackets, and people look at them a little strange, but they can't take that change in temperature, that sudden change in temperature. Getting out of swimming pools, another problem, that kind of thing. We stress. Biggest problem with sickle cell is my first time going to college kids, because they go under all kind of stress, being a college student as opposed to being prepared for elementary, junior high, and high school. So that causes a lot of crisis. But sickle cell, of course, if it clots the arteries, it does. In some situations, like we were talking about stress and weather and that, it causes the round blood cell to sickle, and it clots in your arteries, hands, feet, stomach, brain. So you'll see sickle cells that are paralyzed because they've had brain strokes, which is not unusual. So it's hard, and it's difficult to see, and it's a horrible thing, horrible way to have to watch your child grow up.
I cannot imagine, and sorry you had to go through that, but
I work with the Lord.
Yes.
Yes. You have to work with the Lord.
The man upstairs.
That's right.
Yes.
You have to work with the Lord.
Yes.
Don't make mistakes.
Never make mistakes. So, you know, I was listening to you, and we're talking about blood transfusions, and this is why it's so important, especially African Americans, to
donate blood.
To donate blood.
Because you don't do it. Okay, you don't do it. We shed a lot of it, but we won't donate it. And that has to stop. A lot of the problems with our children dying younger is because they develop what we call iron overload. And iron overload comes from blood transfusions with blood of a different race. It would only make sense that it works better if you're using the same race. You know, we don't have as high iron content. Iron is something your body doesn't burn off. And when that iron backs up in your system, it corrodes your liver, your kidneys, you know, and it's a little strange to hear of a 17-year-old dying of cirrhosis of the liver, because we both know he's not a drunk, but he's dying of iron overload. So that's a lot of frequency in the death of younger sickle cell children.
Especially currently now, with the pandemic.
Yes.
You know, we have so many of the sickle cell patients that are still in isolation. They still cannot go out in public.
Can be exposed because their immune systems are so low.
Right.
My 11 and unders, they can't take the vaccination. You know, we still try and keep them at home and in front of the TV going to school and all that, because we don't have any idea what sickle cell and COVID looks like together. In our minds, we don't figure it's a good thing. It hasn't been for anybody else. But then, you know, we may get lucky, and it's like malaria, the whole deal with sickle cell. Sickle cell started out as a deterrent for malaria. So if you went to Africa and places like that where malaria was running rampant at one point back in the 1600s and 17, people were dying at 1,000 a day and from malaria. But they found out if you had sickle cell trait, you couldn't catch the disease. So they were giving a lot of people the trait to keep them from catching the disease. But when it left that climate and it came to the United States, or to the New World, now you're dealing with snow and sleet and all the changes in temperatures and all that, which you don't find over in those countries. And it's a whole different animal here, and it kills.
Yes.
It kills.
Interesting. And it's and it has been.
And
it has been.
And it does.
Here in Louisville, We're going to talk about, coming back from the break, quick commercial break, we're going to talk about the funding, the grants, research, because, you know, this has to be taken care of.
But that isn't happening.
It needs funding.
Yes, that
but
isn't
it's not
happening.
happening. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
So that's one of the reasons on why she's here today. And we'll talk about that here shortly after the break.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in on your lunch break. I appreciate you.
Bi-weekly on the Plug Network online. That's Monday nights at 7 p.m. ready to do your work. Imagine a world happy, healthy, and healed because you showed up for you. So stay plugged in.
When you've been pastoring a congregation for 60 years, you got to be very careful who you recommend. I have experienced Spring Valley working with families that don't have the ability to pay.
No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning, your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714. Want your brand or business featured on The Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in on your midday, on your lunch break, and happy Friday. And today I have, if you're just tuning in, I have Joanne Orr with the Sickle Cell Association. And we had talked about so much about what the patients and the clients, what they go through. Mm-hmm. So Sickle Cell Association is a nonprofit organization, correct?
We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We've been in existence since 2000, so we're doing 21 years, October the 1st. We fall under nobody's anything. I am the marketing fundraising director, so I'm telling you it seems like a waiting a moment of my day, I'm trying to figure out a way to keep pennies in the bank.
Right.
We're trying to get the public involved, you know, especially African-American public. I look at all the basketball players and football players and people that leave here with $1 million contracts and wonder why we just can't get one or two of them to reach back. Or just the amount of money that floats around this city. It's a lot of money.
Right, and it is. And the thing about it, so we have, you know, we have patients that are dying of the sickle cell.
Correct.
And just it's just that we need funding, need help.
We need funding, and we don't have any research going on here that I know of. I know the biggest research place is in Chicago, and they're working for it. But I mean, it took how many years to start working? You know, 300 years. Over 100,000 people in the United States suffer from sickle cell, and that figure is 10 years old. Wow. So there's not been a consensus done within 10 years to actually determine.
You've got to be kidding me.
Actually determine how many people that have sickle cell. Right now, we're still on that 100,000 figure that I know I've been saying 10 years now.
So there's no research, nothing.
Well, there is some going. There's none within the state of Kentucky that I know of. I know at U of L they were doing some types of research, but there's none going on within this area that I know of on sickle cell. And as far as funding is concerned, the battle. We have so many different organizations here that are actually designed to help the smaller nonprofits, but we just don't come up.
So do you have any fundraising events coming up? How can people support the Sickle Cell Association? Where can they donate?
This
How
year,
can they participate?
Well, they can go out on our website. We do have a website. It's Sickle Cell Association of Kentuckiana. We also have a Facebook page. Right now, Give for Good Louisville is all we've got. Because of COVID, for the last 2 years, we haven't been able to have our walk. We normally have a walk from Shawnee to Chickasaw and back every year, and we usually have a gala. But for the last 2 years with COVID, we haven't been able to congregate.
Right.
So I'm still in that same point. I'm still not able to really do any kind of congregating. So Give for Good Louisville this year, and I'm sure you started seeing the commercials. Go out to giveforgoodlouisville.org. When it comes up, just type in sickle cell, and the rest of it should jump up on their own. We're the only people in the state of Kentucky that support system for sickle cell disease. And I gotta tell you, if we really can't get our hands on serious funding within the next year or so, in another year of COVID, we may really find ourselves in trouble. And after 34 years of waiting on a clinic, we don't need to lose our support system.
Right, because I met you at the Metro Council budget meeting.
Correct.
That was on Broadway. So our voices, we made it very loud and clear. So if you want to become a warrior, and if you have family members that have sickle cell,
please
by
get
all
in
means,
touch.
reach out.
Please,
this is what we
please.
do at Unite Louisville. This is what we stand for.
And
we are here to support you.
And I
as
got to
well.
tell you that a week or so after we had the meeting, I got a little call from downtown that said that we may not qualify for the funding because we treat people outside the city limits, and that the funding was for local projects. Now, I don't have that in writing, and I've not had anybody call me and tell me that, and I don't think they've even done the distribution.
So what do they consider the city, the outside the city limits? Are we talking about zip codes,
We're talking about
demographic
Louisville.
areas?
We're talking about Louisville. And my folks come from, we're it
All over.
for the entire
Right.
state of Kentucky. We're it. So I'm hoping, having spoken with them again, and emphasize that the only treatment for sickle cell in the state of Kentucky is Louisville. So even though their zip code may be different, they have to come here. They don't have a choice. Their support system is us. We're here. So I'm hoping they take that into consideration, but I don't think they've done the actual division of the funding yet, so I'm hoping we're still in the fight.
Well, I'll tell you what, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. You've been doing this over 14 years? You've been in that fight a little bit longer?
Been in the fight.
So if it wasn't people like you, where would we be? And where would these clients be?
I don't even want to think about that.
So
I want to think we're here until they find a cure or they don't need us anymore. At that point, we can fold up our shingle and go home happy. But that doesn't look like it's going to be anyway soon. But Louisville, Derby City, come on, y'all. We need to get in the fight. These are your children being born this way. I've already lost mine, but I don't mind getting in a fight for yours. But you need to get in the fight with me.
Yes.
We need to get sickle cell under control. If you haven't been tested and you don't know, and please don't tell me nobody in your house has it, because it's not possible for you to know that. Get tested, please. Don't have your children out here playing football and basketball in the heat, 90 degrees, and be mad when one of them dies sickle cell trait, not sickle cell disease, note the word trait, because you hadn't had them tested, because they are dying from sickle cell trait in some situations. Please get involved.
right. And thank you so much for, again, I say being here. Thank you for your service.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for being a community warrior.
Okay.
That's what I call it. You're a champion.
Ching ching. We'll throw that up there. I told him, I said, throw it up at my little Bell Award. That's one of my first little things I got was my Bell Award back in 15. So that's a big deal. But I appreciate it.
So I'm sure what other things that you do in the community? Because you're full of lanterns.
I've been doing Meals on Wheels for 14 years. I work with Dare to Care. I just got a little award for being the front line when the COVID first started, because I was one of the people that delivered them 83,000 meals out in the first few weeks when everything got cut off. So I was one of those. So a number of things. Yeah, I work on a couple of boards in the city, Legal Aid Society and Community Action Partnership, Office of Resilience. I've been there since '08. I'm trying to think of the mayor before we had this one. That's who put me out there, and I've been there ever since. I'm military, and I'm used to. So you just shuffle from one shuffle.
Exactly.
You find a new shuffle when you shuffle.
Exactly. So. And again, her contact information will be out there, how you can get a hold of Miss Orr.
Please
and they're
do.
also looking for, you need volunteers for the Meals on Wheels as well?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right.
Be glad to, especially in the West End. Hello, y'all know y'all got a whole senior population down the West End in need of meals. We just don't have enough people to deliver them. So please give us a call.
All right. Thank you so much. We're going to go on break. I have Ron Triplett with the Multi-Council Legal Aid Association. You definitely want to stay tuned in for that. Thank you so much.
Positive vibes from me to you. I am LaToya with the Toy Box. Join me bi-weekly on the Plug Network online. That's Monday nights at 7 p.m. ready to do your work. Imagine a world happy, healthy, and healed because you showed up for you. So stay plugged in.
When you've been pastoring a congregation for 60 years, you got to be very careful who you recommend. I have experienced Spring Valley working with families that don't have the ability to pay.
No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning, your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714. Want your brand or business featured on the Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you. No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714. Want your brand or business featured on the Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Welcome back, Plug family. Welcome. Thank you for taking your time out today, Ron, for joining us. I know, like I said, everyone that comes on here, you take your time out. You have a busy schedule, and I appreciate you, and the Plug family does too. So basically, tell everyone about exactly who you are. You are the president of the Multi-Council of the Legal Aid. Tell them a history about who you are, why you're doing it, and how long you've been doing it.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Ronald Triplett, and I'm the president of the Multi-County Council under the umbrella of Legal Aid Society. Legal Aid has been established since 1921. Most people think of legal aid just specializing in evictions, but they do more than just that. The office is geared towards outreach, communication, the recon of legal aid. We are to go out into the community and collect good data and spread the good news about what legal aid definitely specializes in it, and targeting disadvantaged citizens of the community, citizens that likewise wouldn't be able to retain a lawyer because of the fees and things of that nature. So they've been around, good people, good staff, and really trending.
So the services, I know a lot of people here in the city of Louisville and all over have heard the Legal Aid Society. A lot of the services they provide are, was it child support, some family services?
Yes, ma'am. It's 5 different components.
Okay.
Family court, specialize in home stability, specialize in the special population, specialize in also the economics of the community as well. And from the family courts, you also have lawyers that specialize in custody battles, visitation. From the economic, we have lawyers there that will specialize in taxes, IRS issues, foreclosures, things of that nature with the home. They also help stabilize the home with evictions, which is the most notable. But then you also have the foreclosure, things of that nature, and neighborhood association startups.
So the multi-council is just not only here in Jefferson County. You represent other counties in the state, correct?
Yes,
so if
ma'am.
you live somewhere else and you need the help and you're not working or you're in a certain income, even if you do, if you have any questions, you know, because with everything that is going on right now, you know, even with the movement, if you're, you know, if you're a protester that's been out there and you're still having some legal issues from the marches months ago, because a lot of these protesters, a lot of people are still in and out of court and they've been locked up and they're having legal issues and they may not be able to afford it because some of these protesters have lost their jobs. So one thing about the Legal Aid Society and Multi-Council, because you advocate, like you said, disadvantages for those who may not have a voice and who can't speak up for themselves and is out there trying to just need help.
Yes,
need
ma'am.
help. So what are the other counties again?
There are 14 surrounding counties that the Multi-County Council is supposed to account for. And we try to go out into the rural areas and give out information so that the lawyers there that are already connected with legal aid can also go and represent them in their familiar court system. And we do have a lot of lawyers that are actually out in the counties, but it's up to people like yourself and other folks that can get out into the rural areas of these surrounding counties. 14 surrounding counties are all the counties that touch outside of Jefferson County.
Right. So we met through community activism as far as planning some events that are coming up. And but you have a history on why you're doing this. You have a story, if you'd like to share a little bit. You don't have to go so personal in depth, but on why you're doing this. And because you're not really getting paid for this.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
This is a nonprofit organization.
This is a nonprofit organization. Legal Aid survives on donations, and most donations are put into a good fund and utilized correctly.
Right.
And Legal Aid definitely utilizes their funds, have a team of good lawyers, like 60.
Right.
It's a well-kept organization. Me, myself, I'm on the executive board like Ms. Orr. My passion to try to help connect the myth about lawyers in the judicial system. There are a lot of good lawyers behind the scene that really take passion in what they do. It's
Right,
not
because you
just
work with kids as well, too.
yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah. Look, you see I'm
was
trying to spill. Go on, go, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Take a little bit of that out of you, but I understand.
Yes, ma'am. Spent a lot of time with 291, parent advocate, Dr. Georgia Turner and Sean Gardner. Many years as a parent advocate in family court. So, you know, we did a lot of real good work connecting and facilitating workshops, things of that nature. And a lot of people don't know that you can go through our office at the Multi-County Council. My number is 1-502-599-0831. And the Multi-County Council email is mccc kentucky@gmail.com.
Okay.
We'll email you right back. You can go through the office physically for the current time, and also within 3 business days, you will get a phone call from one of the intake lawyers and be able to see exactly how they can help. One thing also, there's a self-help website in which www.legalaid.org. There's links. Once you go to that link, and there's different types of self-help links. A lot of people really don't like to depend on folks. So there's self-help links, forms already to suit your situation.
Right, especially if you're a private individual, you're a private person, and you just out there trying to do some research and you need the help, you can actually go on and get this self-link, because a lot of times just even trying to call downtown or the courthouse or somewhere, you're just waiting for hours, or waiting on hold for a long time just to even get a customer service representative, someone to even give you any information. So that's just a pretty much, it's really simple. It sounds like how they can just go on the website and everything is just laid out for them.
Everything is laid out.
Okay.
You can also communicate and sign on that way as well, and actually get an application offline, and you'll get a call back. Our intake system is pretty thorough. As you well know, that we're probably going to be faced with a lot of evictions, and don't ever hesitate not to call legal aid. Through the Louisville Urban League and other partners in the city, Goodwill, there will be a lot of sites and workshops on how that is going to be navigated. So don't be overwhelmed, because legal aid also has a preventative eviction plan in action, preventive, and working hard behind the scenes to try to make sure that our citizens stay in their homes and keeping the workforce, and also making sure families stay safe.
Especially now during the pandemic. You know, we've been in this pandemic for a while, and a lot of people, you know, I know you guys have been getting a lot of calls about these landlords and evictions. So I want to thank you guys for doing what you do and what you've always done in the community, which you continue to do, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yes, ma'am.
So
definitely that.
Yes, thank you for that. So another thing I want to talk about is we need volunteers, we need advocates, and how can people join into the cause and be a part of what we're doing out there?
Yes, ma'am. If you really want to be a part of legal aid, we do have volunteer positions under the Multi-County Council. My cellular number again is 1-502-599-0831. Love to sit down with you and see how you can volunteer and join forces to try to get the information out to our population in all 4 corners of the city. We'll be doing a lot of community outreach coming up soon, and we just need volunteers and people who really want to stay committed to helping our families and people that are really not for sure about what their future lies with their health, economics, things of that nature. We also have a special program for veterans as well. You can call 1-502-584-1254. That's the office number. and there will be someone that will do an intake, have you come in, or either because of the COVID, we also got the online site as well.
Okay.
So either way, you'll be able to get to legal aid either through the website or in person until the governor shuts us down.
Right.
And we also have unfortunately, you know, domestic violence is pretty high. Legal aid also has a domestic violence special force of lawyers that really specialize in really taking pride in making sure that our Kentucky citizens are really protected. There's a special department for that as well, and a 1-800 number that'll be in the information box.
Thank you so much. I hope that this was informative for our Plug family, and it is definitely something that we need to discuss and bring awareness to the community, what the services are out there, and how you can get help. You know, there's help. You're not alone. There's help. This is what we do at Unite Louisville. This is why we bring all the organizations together to just tell you what's going on. So again, I want to thank you.
Appreciate you and all the work and your crew behind the scenes, what y'all do. I've just joined in, but I'm always intrigued when I see y'all on Facebook, and y'all keep doing the good work, and we definitely appreciate y'all in the community.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Until next time, I am you, and thank you for tuning in Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online.
When you've been pastoring a congregation for 60 years, you got to be very careful who you recommend. I have experienced Spring Valley working with families that don't have the ability to pay.
No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714.
Positive vibes from me to you. I am LaToya with the Toy Box. Join me bi-weekly on the Plug Network Online. That's Monday nights at 7 p.m. ready to do your work. Imagine a world happy, healthy, and healed because you showed up for you. So stay plugged in.
Want your brand or business featured on the Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.